Okay, guys, I am back. I'm so sorry. The first part of this video got taken down. And so I'm gonna have to take the replay, and I'm gonna have to take this one and the other one and put it together for you guys. I also think I lost a couple minutes in the creation process. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm going to back up a little bit, and I am going to go back for a few steps so that hopefully the replay will have all of the steps there. So basically what we did, the first step, I'm going to go through all of them and then I'll cut the place where I need. So the first thing I did is I uploaded the template and I described the brand. So I described Sarah's brand to ChatGPT. I also gave signature session so that ChatGPT could get a little bit more of a feel for the brand. And this was Sarah's original brand board that came from the template and the description of how she wants her brand to feel. And I loved it, but I forgot to give ChatGPT, I'm not even sharing my screen right now, I'm so sorry. I forgot to give ChatGPT the information about Sarah's brand. So the brand board literally says Sarah's brand. So I was like, okay, but let's put her brand name on here. And now we have Griffin Tarot. So we have her brand name on the brand board. I think it's beautiful. I think she's going to really like it based off of what we talked about. I think it's quite stunning. So this was kind of her finalized brand board. And then I asked for all 4 of the textures. This is something that I like to do so that I can have it on file. So I can use them in Canva posts and things like that. And so I went ahead and I grabbed all 4 of these textures for Sarah and had ChatGPT generate those. Please give me each of the skull textures in 3x2. Okay, so I downloaded those, and I think this is about where it cut out. We also do have her logo designs that we were creating at the same time. So basically, I put her brand board into a different chat with her current logo design. I said, please help me create 8 different logo designs for Griffin Tarot, base 2 of her designs, base 2 of them on her own design, but translate it into the new brand. And so we actually got 7 really nice logos here of this logo kind of translated into her new brand. The 8th one was a little bit weird, if I remember right. They actually all look good. All 8 of them look good. So now we have 8 logos for her to choose from. And then let's pop back to this other chat. And then I created her post families. The reason why it's important to have post families is because otherwise you just end up having a post that looks the exact same every time. So this gives the AI something to kind of like a layout to concentrate on, or something to channel the overall design into when creating your posts. Also, it is so nice to have post size up here, because when we do that, we actually get that size every time just by using this in our prompts. We also have some rules here, and I wanted to grab a couple of these, so I actually asked for 3 more, and I got something kind of weird. So you'll notice I said, I love this, please give me 3 more very unique post family angles and take out reading tools such as Fred, because she doesn't teach tarot, she reads for others. And it kind of gave like 2 options on the same graphic. That is not what I wanted. So I'm just going to start over. Sometimes we have to do that. Something that I've noticed with ChatGPT is it can get pretty weird when you're trying to prompt pictures. So having the right language is actually pretty important when you are doing this. So, okay, please use this brand board to create 3 possible all unique visual post family guide. Each image a possible we're going to write this right this time. Please use this brand board to create 3 images, 3 unique images, each image a possible visual post families guide for this brand. Okay, so now I've very specifically said, put this into 3 images. Each image is a possible visual post families guide. Also, let's grab her @ and put it at the bottom of each of. I actually like my @ to be at the bottom of my posts. And if you put it into the visual post families, it's just that much better because then you don't have to prompt it every time. Let's see, Griffin Tarot, her @ please include her username at the bottom of each post graphic. And it is @GRYPHONTROT. Okay. Now, hopefully this prompt is going to be perfect. Okay, I'm replacing the videos in some of these posts that I had. I made a pretty big mistake in part 1, and yeah, it was an oops. All right, these are looking so pretty. Look at those. I love that. All righty. The @ is not on them. It didn't understand to put the @ at the bottom of each of the graphics. And also, why do we have 8? The template only has, let's see, 6. We're getting a little wild over here. I like these, but they aren't actually square posts. So it's not how I'm used to seeing them generated. Yeah, this is just looking really sloppy. If I'm being honest, let me open up my other ChatGPT. I think I broke this one recently. It was really weird. This account has been acting super strange since last week. So let me open up my other ChatGPT account and see if we can get, I'm even going to just use the same prompt and show you. Okay, so we are working on branding for Griffin Tarot. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the exact same thing that we said here, and I'm going to see if this ChatGPT is just like super weird, or am I like, maybe I'm not using the thinking mode or the right model. Just check. That's thinking extended. What model? I think it's 5.5. Yeah, I'm using the correct model for this. Okay, let's add image. Let's add branding, visual post families template, Sarah's new guide, branding board. Okay, so we're working on branding for Griffin Tarot Live. Please use this brand board to create 3 unique images. Each image is a possible visual post families guide for this brand. Let's see what happens. I definitely haven't had the same problem that I'm having over in my other account. So let's see if this works. Has anybody else had their ChatGPT account totally glitch? I have experienced it a couple times where it just doesn't behave in the way that you would expect it to. Okay, we have the at the bottom of each post. So I don't know why this other account is being so weird. I don't really love the guides down here. I don't think that's really what I had in mind when I created it. If you can see, we've got best for overall, rotation rule, and keep consistent. So like how to rotate. This is for the user, not the AI, but this whole graphic is technically for the AI. So rotation rule means like, hey, don't use the same base the entire time or something like that. So I definitely feel like this is not what I expect for this bottom section here. But these do look really pretty. Let's see, again, it's a spread. Okay, so now I'm actually going to talk here. I'm going to say these do not match what I would expect for the guidelines at the bottom. These guidelines are meant to help the AI when it comes to graphic creation. They are not meant to help the user create their content. So do you need examples from me as to what these look like? By the way, I've created multiple brands like this and have not had this problem before. I really do like all of these, but I'm also seeing tarot teaching in these examples, and she doesn't teach tarot, she reads tarot. So now I'm just talking to the system instead of generating a graphic, and we'll see what ChatGPT says. Examples would help. So let me provide some examples. I definitely have them for both of these two. Please take a look at these examples. Please take a look at these examples. What is not translating into the template that I've already used on multiple brand creations that is not being understood right now when it comes to creating these post-family graphics? So I'm still just talking to ChatGPT. I'm not actually asking to create an image. So here we have, I see it now, the post families are layout families, not content pillars. In your examples, each family has a visual layout, blah, 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 blah. The bottom boxes are AI design constraints. So if you run into the same problem, just prompt, no, these bottom boxes should be AI design constraints. Okay, so now what I'm going to do for the redo, I would keep the visual beauty from the generated versions, but change the instruction logic. So let's change our prompt. Create a post-family guide for future AI image generation. Each family must describe a repeatable visual layout style for Griffin Tarot's reading-focused brand. Do not position her as teaching tarot. Bottom boxes must give AI creation rules, not content planning advice. So now we just need to attach those two again. So let's go to, sometimes when you run into these things, by the way, this is one of the reasons why ChatGPT is not my favorite AI, but it is one of the best for image generation right now. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of times if it's not really understanding, you just have to give examples, explain, and try to work with the AI to get it to understand exactly what you want from it. So we'll see if this prompt is any better. I really actually do like these. I think that they're quite beautiful, but they're just missing the mark in this bottom area. I didn't put to include her at. So hopefully it'll carry that through. Yeah, it does say here, I'll also make sure to add the Griffin Tarot handle at the bottom as requested in its thinking block. So hopefully it actually does that. And I don't have to reprompt. Something too that this is a theory, but when this new image generator came out, there weren't a lot of people using it. So there was a little bit more AI bandwidth for the people who were. And so it's my personal theory that the AI itself gets not as smart when more and more people are using that bandwidth. So it gets lazier, it doesn't bring the same sort of quality that it brings at the beginning. So that could be part of it as well, because like I said, I've done this exact same process multiple times and had no problem. And like there was a complete misunderstanding of what these boxes were for. I'm just going to check my calendar real quick while we wait. I don't think I have my coaching call this week in the afternoon. I think it was last week. Let's see. No, yeah, I don't have anything after this. So we have all the time in the world. How are you guys doing today? All right. So as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to show you how to take the brand assets that we just created and to create actual posts with them. Yes, this is what I expected. I love this archway here. I think the card pull is good. Okay, I'm just kind of making sure that we have good brand consistency here. Yeah, I like it. So now I'm going to download this as well. And now the question is how do you turn this into your actual posts and use this in your actual day-to-day creation of your graphics? Now, I personally really like creating my copy with Claude. I think Claude does a better job at following my voice rules. So let me get Claude up and running really quick for the actual copy, and then we'll come back to ChatGPT for the images. So let's grab Sarah's session details. And what I want to do is create a few different promotional posts for Sarah. So basically, I'm just taking the session details and I'm going to say, please create 3 carousel promotional posts for I need to make sure I spell the name of her brand correctly. Let me put this back up on the screen. Let me figure out what her brand is. Right here. I just don't want to spell it wrong. Here's her signature session. Okay, so please create 3 carousel promotional posts for Griffin Tarot. Here's her signature session. You'll also probably want to ask for text for each post on the graphic. But usually when you're asking for carousels, it will 100% give it to you, even if it doesn't when you ask for single image posts. My Claude will always pretty much give me the graphic because that's how I always generate it. So the more you work with your specific AI, the more and more that it understands your preferences too. And it will automatically bake those in. And so when it comes to carousel posts, we actually have a lot of graphics per carousel. So when I'm thinking about creating these, let's make this like a little bit of a split screen. Let me know if you guys can't see it very well. When I'm creating these for ChatGPT, a lot of times I'll have a window for a Google Doc. That I can kind of design the prompt in as it generates the pictures, because it can take a little bit of time to generate all those graphics. So I'm going to create a new Google Doc. And then carousel 1. Okay, so from Claude, we have gotten some posts, and I will download this for Sarah. Okay, so carousel 1, the grief no one prepares you for. Here we've got our slide copies. This is what we need for the image generation. So carousel 1 is here. You want to make sure there's nothing about the design necessarily. You want to make sure that everything that goes on the slide is actual text, because sometimes it'll give you like creative design, and then that will end up on the actual images. So this all looks really good. Now let's go ahead and get this going. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop back into ChatGPT. Please create the images for this carousel. One of the things I always say when I'm creating a carousel, please include right arrows on all the images except the last one. So there's all the slides, and then we're going to go ahead and put up both of these, the brand board and the families. And I have tested both ways, where I just upload these as the first message, and honestly it just does a better job if I upload them every single message. So we're going to go ahead and get that started, and while that works, we're going to go ahead and snag the next one. I'm also going to kind of look through this. If you want text that's doesn't sound as much like AI, you can ask for no contrast framing and no you're not broken language. Those are two of my absolute no's when it comes to generating text, and Claude does a pretty good job of it. Every now and then I still find contrast framing. Okay, carousel 2. I don't know about the link. Hopefully it didn't do that. It did do that. We'll probably have to redo that last last one because you don't put a link on an actual graphic. Book your session today. Book your session today. Drop clarity in the comments, and I'll send you the link. And we'll put this at the end of all of them. Okay, so here's what it's looking like. Here's the first post. It has the arrow. I think it looks really beautiful. Oh, we've got the little moth over here. I really like that. I think that there's a really peaceful feel to these. I am definitely liking them. Okay, so now we need to we're going to go ahead and include these again. Book your session today, drop clarity in the comments, and I'll send you the link. So we have to wait for it to finish so that we can make sure that all of these graphics are fully rendered. And then we can send in the change for the last one because this doesn't make sense. Okay. Now let's grab number 3. You can just totally exit out of this now. Let's open up Plot again. Okay, so here's the slides. And then we're going to also fix this. Okay, so now let's go ahead and download all of these. And I'll make a new folder. Oops. That used to be post 7. Okay, so now we have a CTA slide that actually has the word instead of a link. And now we can go ahead and move on to number 2. So slide copy for number 2 is right here. All right, so the same prompt as before. Please create the images for this carousel. Please include right arrows on all the images except for the last one. We don't have to tell it the size or anything because it's already a part of the post families. Okay, so far so good. I think it's super pretty. We have the candles here. Very soft. We can actually get queued up for the last one too. If I was doing some single image posts, I would also, during this time, I would be compiling them all in a image 1, image 2, image 3, and I'd put just the text that I want on each and every one of them. And then I would also prompt to create each image and make them all unique, basically. Yeah, I like that. I think that it's nice that it kind of incorporated the pathways into this sort of image here. I think it looks really beautiful. Let's go ahead and send this one through now. So we'll do the first image in post 2, and then a lot of times I just drop them all. You'll have 2 of the first one, but you can always go in and delete it. It just makes it a lot faster to save that way. So something that I'm noticing is we are really heavy on the arches here. We have arched, 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 arched. It's a little too arched. If it was me, I definitely wouldn't want all of 3 of these posts with a bunch of arches on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to go ahead and add the branding. And then make sure it looks significantly different from the other 2. Do not reuse any of the designs from here. Use the families to construct another type. Just type no arch for this one, please. So that's another thing that I've really found is like ChatGPT can get really lazy about like reusing the same images. So in a lot of my images, I'll be saying things like, let me show you like some of my ads and how I create those. Okay, so when I'm prompting, I'm actually using all ads should be unique and different and use unique color stories. And then I'm saying all ads should be unique and different and use different color stories. Use this mockup, but don't change the actual thing. So I frequently say things like all ads should be unique and different and use different color stories. And in some of my own posting, let me show you some of those too. Here's some High Priestess Tarot School post graphics. Please create these 6 image post graphics in 6 separate images for all posts in this tab. Please use this branding guide. Could you please create 3 unique CTA slides? So you can see each time I'm including my brand board and post families, and I'm saying 6 separate images because sometimes they'll try to like smush them all onto one image. Sometimes look at this, it gets like a little wily sometimes. So 6 separate images. Don't forget the right arrows on each of the slides. So sometimes you have to get ridiculously tedious about your prompting. I love that this does not incorporate the arch. It definitely looks different and unique from the other 2. And I think part of the problem is like actually it doesn't have anything for promotional. So it was just leaning way too hard on the arch. I like it. So now we're going to go ahead and download it. We're going to do just the first image first. Post 3. And now we have actually just created 3 entire carousels with CTAs, multiple slides. We have the text for them, and it didn't take any time at all. It used to be, before I had ChatGPT's image generation, it would take me sometimes up to an hour just to create one carousel in Canva, and it wouldn't look nearly this good. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to go ahead and edit both of the videos together and get those dropped. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I gave you some strategies for creating your own brand, and I hope you enjoy creating your own brand.